they will embarrass you. That's one thing about dealing with African men. I'm telling you, there's no woman that can. An African man knows how to spend money. An African man, he will spend money. He will spend the top dollar on you. He will spoil. You see, that's one thing I love about African men. African men don't have no problem spending money. They have no problem with being a provider, but they will embarrass you. They will embarrass you. It's sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
It is sweet and spicy. One way or another, you will look at yourself and say, oh no, he got me effed up. He got me effed up. Who does he think? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me? But then once you see the credit a lot, once you see credit a lot from your Zelle, Cash App, or bank transfer, my sister, you will look at everything and you say, you know what? But even self, all the pain, all the you start thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad. Once you finish shopping, your shopping, buying your shoes, buying your doing your hair, doing your nail, you'll be like, maybe the embarrassment wasn't that bad. One way or another, they will embarrass you. That's one thing about dealing with African men. I'm telling you, there's no woman that can tell you that they dated an African man and they have not been embarrassed.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, Luke, what's up? CC, my sweet sister. Welcome to the show once again. Everybody, wherever you are, I hope you're having a great time. My name is Beno Real, and this is Uncle Beno's channel. And today, I want to look at something differently. I still got two shows lined up on the Davido and Sophia, baby mama drama, everything going on. But at this point, I just want to dive into some of the things that this channel is actually created for. So real quick, on this one, we want to look at some of the things your ladies need to understand about African men. I know, it's always like, why is it African men? Why is that African man? Why is it always African men, this African man, that? Sister, it's all about African men because we are the king. Oh yeah, and that is why today's episode is Understanding African Men and Brotherhood 101. Yeah, my sisters all the way from Obodoyinbo TV, Man of Prestige, and of course from Nigeria, they know I'm number one when it comes to brotherhood. And I like to defend my brothers, you know. So you can bring it on, prove me wrong. I'm always open to the conversation. I don't believe in right or wrong. I believe that people have their opinions and they can share their opinions. So shout out to all the social media freelancers in the house. If you're here, drop a comment. Let me know that you're here. I already see my sweet sister Sissy in the building. Happy Friday, people. Thank God it's weekend. I know, Sissy. And something tells me, Sissy, that you got a bottle of wine right in front of you. All right. I don't want to beat around the bush. I just want to talk about the things that women should know about African men. Now, arguably, African men are the most desirable for long-time committed relationship all over the world. You can prove me wrong. And I'm going to say it again. African men are the best all over the world husband material. Oh yeah, now. Bring it on, I'm ready. And why am I saying that? What gives me the audacity to say African men are the best all around the world? I'm going to play a couple of videos, and the videos are actually coming from sisters on the one and only top app where you know you can find them. TikTok, Talk Tick. The sisters on TikTok are talking again. Oh, Sissy already say wrong, but no, I don't drink alcohol. I actually just had a smoothie. Sissy, I've seen pretty ladies like you, and I know what they do. I've seen your beautiful face. I've seen you in Jamaica, and I've seen you rocking with Auntie B, Sissy. I know. Definitely, there's going to be a bottle of wine somewhere, somehow, in the fridge, chilling. We had that conversation this morning at the Man of Prestige backstage. My sisters were like, oh, I love this wine. I like that one. I'll be like, oh, mom. But I say, these sisters are all the same. Oh. Anywhere they are, they like their chill bottle of wine. All right, let's just come back to what this show is all about. And this show right here, it's about those things you should understand about African men. If you truly desire African men, you got to know a couple of things about them. Look, say CC na pastor or boss. CC na soft girl. Look, let me tell you, this is a soft babe, soft life. In fact, CC is rocking Soft Life Pro Max. All right. What are the things you should know about African men? I'm going to start with this sister right here. She's on TikTok and she gave her 2 cents. And the bottom line of her argument is that if you are dating an African man will take care of you. African man will spoil you with money. However, African brothers may stain your white. African brothers may disgrace you.
So I've been seeing.
That's what she's saying.
African man knows how to spend money.
Take a
An
listen.
African man will spend money. He will spend the top dollar on you. He will spoil. You see, that's one thing I love about African men. African men don't have no problem spending money. They have no problem with being a provider, but they will embarrass you.
Jesus.
They will embarrass you. It's sweet and spicy. It is sweet and spicy. One way or another, you will look at yourself and say, oh no, he got me effed up. He got me effed up. Who does he think? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me? But then once you see the credit a lot,
Yes.
once you see credit a lot from your Zelle, Cash App, or bank transfer, my sister, you will look at everything and you say, you know what? But even self, all the pain, all the you start thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad. Once you finish shopping, buying your shoes, doing your hair, doing your nail, you'll be like, maybe the embarrassment wasn't that bad. One way or another, they will embarrass you. That's one thing about dealing with African men. I'm telling you, there's no woman that can tell you that they dated an African man and they have not been embarrassed. The embarrassment will be, it will be a different kind of embarrassment. You'll be looking at yourself that, does he not know who I am? That's the type of embarrassment an African man will give you. But at the same time, he will spoil you. An African man will spoil. You see, money is nothing to an African man. An African man knows he has to provide because they raise African men from kid to understand that you are the man of the house and you must always take care of the house. So spending money on you is never the problem when it comes to an African guy. Never a problem. Just know that you can't have it all. Once you start dating an African, it's very hard for you to go back because a race-born American guy, a race-born UK, like they're not the same. That's why I'd be so confused at these guys that be talking about some, oh, get a job. Da. As long as you invest in yourself and you look good and you're a developed woman and you see an
Let me quickly address this. I see you, Sister Marriott. Welcome. Juliet, you're welcome. Oh, Sissy. Sissy said, let's be specific, please. It's not African men. It's Nigerian men mainly. Some other African men spending it in their vocabulary. They know themselves. Sissy, don't come and scatter our brotherhood, though. But you are right, my sister. I think as a matured woman, you are actually in the right position to agree or disagree with that claim right there. And really, even I've seen a lot of African American ladies here in Atlanta, Texas, Houston, all the way to New York. They have come out and say, yo, if you're looking for that man who's going to spoil you with money, Nigerian men are top of the list. So I agree with you, Sissy. Niger to the world. Yes, so Mario, Sissy with the AK-47 already. Oh, I guess Sissy is ready to blast this thing open, man. All right, let me just continue with what my sweet sister here is saying. Right on, sister.
See an African man, that man can buy you house just to be with you. Let me tell you something. That's why I look at these American guys and all these Western guys. I just tell them move one side because an Arabic guy, European guy, African guy knows what it means to provide.
Yeah.
Listen, they're not going to argue with you when it comes to spending money. They're not going to argue because they're going to spend money. But you know one thing they will never tolerate is disrespect. Those men will never tolerate any type of level of disrespect, but they will embarrass you. Remember, see, that's one thing that African, European, Arabic men have in common? Embarrassment. They will
Jesus.
embarrass you,
Jesus.
but they will spend money. Listen,
Jesus.
bet me that your eyes will dry. Your eyes will dry and you'll be like, babe, please, what was the problem again? I kid you not. An African man knows how to spend money. An African man will spend money. He will spend the top dollar on you. He will spoil. You see, that's one thing I love about African men. African men don't have no problem spending money. They have no problem with being a provider, but they will embarrass you.
Preach, sister,
They will
preach.
embarrass you. It's sweet and spicy. It is sweet and spicy. One way or another, you will look at yourself and say, oh no, he got me effed up. He got me effed up. Who does he think? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me he wants to be trying? Is it me? But then once you see the credit a lot, once you see credit a lot from your Zelle, Cash App, or bank transfer, my sister, you will look at everything and you say, you know what? But even self, all the pain, all the you start thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad. Once you finish shopping, your shopping, buying your shoes, buying your doing your hair, doing your nail, you'll be like, maybe the embarrassment wasn't that bad. One way or another, they will
Mm.
embarrass you.
All
That's one
right.
thing about dealing with African men. I'm
Okay.
telling you, there's
Okay. She has a valid point right there, but I just want to understand what this embarrassment she's talking about is all about. And this is where I'm going to need you, my sisters and brothers, in the comment to make me understand what type of embarrassment is she talking about. How do African men embarrass their women? I don't get it. And the only thing I think, Sisi, come on now. Hey, Sisi, don't go there now, please. I don't think she's talking about cheating, to be honest. I don't think she meant that African men will embarrass you with cheating. Maybe she's probably talking about something else. And to be frank, how can cheating be an embarrassment? Sisi, you want to enlighten me about that? Marriott, hey, Messi, how you doing? Welcome. You want to at least let me understand, how does African men cheating is an embarrassment? For instance, a lot of African men, even when they cheat far away from home. I'm not supporting cheating. I'm not condoning cheating, but I'm just saying the real agbabolas, when they want to do their thing, they do it far away from home. And in most cases, the wife only find out if she started digging, if she started investigating, going through his phone, keeping tabs on him and all that. That's the only way she get to find out. So how is cheating an embarrassment? Let us learn. Mario says, you know what she's talking about? Stay your white. Okay, I need to know exactly how. Because what I don't understand about African men embarrassing you, I think that embarrassment should be in the context of maybe you guys went out on a date and maybe you had an argument while on a date. You are in public space and maybe dudes, they don't do what's that thing women call it these days? Chauvinist or chauvinistic, or what do you call it? All those open car, closed car door thing. Maybe he didn't do it. Okay, I get it. Maybe that is embarrassing. Okay, I'm going to drop the link, Mama. I'll drop the link because I need my sisters to help me break this down. How exactly do African brothers embarrass their women? I get it. Cheating is a big deal. Mario say, Uncle Ben, no, what are you saying? Mario, what I'm saying is that when we say embarrassment, I think the embarrassment should be in the context of maybe publicly humiliating the woman. But I don't think if you guys have something going on within the house, within your own private space, would you consider that an embarrassment? Well, this is Brotherhood 101. So I want to learn, and I believe other brothers who might get to see this video later also want to learn. The same goes to sisters who might come across the clip. Welcome, CC, my own UK sister. How you doing, Mama?
Hey Ben, I'm good. Ben, stop capping. Stop capping.
Almost.
Stop capping. It's too early. It's too early. I'm not in the mood. Stop it.
Why are you like this now?
Stop capping. You know exactly what women mean when they say African man will embarrass you. It's not about opening the door, not opening the door. Which one is that?
Oh.
Come on now. It's cheating. It's always cheating. That's always what it is. So stop it.
Hey, Mario says stop cap. I'm not capping. Okay,
You're capping.
All right, CC, educate us. How is cheating an embarrassment? Maybe those of us who are naive can actually learn. So, how is cheating an embarrassment to women?
I think for me, mainly, cheating is an embarrassment for women because as a woman, you want to, there's a certain level of pride you have when your man is taking care of you. You know, women, we love when we have something nice, something shiny. We want to show our friends, we want to tell everybody. You know, we always want to do competition. Women will always do competition with other women, right? So if you have a man that cannot keep his bola in one place, okay, and he's carrying that bola up and down, left, right, and center, all over the town, of course it's going to be embarrassing for you because as a woman you can't be proud of that man, and especially when you know that other people know that your man is a serial cheater. That's big embarrassment for you because what can you do? You know, you can't hide it. So you might stay with him, but the embarrassment comes from other people knowing that your man is very careless, your man is out there. And even though you say that a lot of African men, they cheat far away from home, maybe that was the uncles of the olden days. These rascals of nowadays, they sleep with their housemaids, they sleep with your sister, they'll sleep with your best friend. I mean, wherever they can get it, you know. So I don't believe that it's wherever. I think that's where the embarrassment level comes from. There's no more, men are not discreet anymore. And a lot of women that they cheat with, they're not discreet either. So it's pro max embarrassment on all sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I get the picture now. So when a man cheats with a side chick and it becomes public knowledge, that's an embarrassment. That's what you're saying, right, Cynthia?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So what other way do Nigerian men or African men embarrasses their women?
Maybe it could be how they speak to you in front of other people. I think you mentioned chauvinistic. Maybe it's like the way that they will expect you to respect them, maybe in front of their friends or their family. If it's maybe a different culture, I can give an example. I had a friend, she's Congolese, she was dating the Nigerian guy. They went out, and you think that this guy is really nice. You know, they went out one time, and then I think they were in a bar. So you know when the bar starts closing, like closing time is soon, they start dimming. In the UK, they start dimming the lights. And eventually they'll, you know, tell you like, you know, can you order your last drinks, blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, he started arguing with the waitress, like saying, no, leave us. We're still having bring more drinks type of thing. And then my friend was saying to him, I wasn't there, she was telling me the story. She said to him, oh no, babe, like, you know, let's wrap it up. And he just told her, when men are talking, don't talk in front of her, in front of his friends. I swear. She said he said when men are talking, don't talk in front of his friends. I was just like, Jesus. So maybe that can be something that can be embarrassing depending on his type of mannerism or his, you know, lack of decorum or whatever. Something like that. I'm sorry. From that day, that was the last day. And they were actually on a date. Like they'd been dating, but that was the date that I just told her, girl, drop that man like a hot potato. He's a red flag. So yeah, maybe something like that. That could be an incident where that could be embarrassing.
I'm gonna be honest here. There is no way I am supporting that type of behavior.
I can't. Can you imagine? I can't believe it. I was like,
Disgusting.
wow.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
But then his friends, as men do, nobody says anything. They just kept quiet and just was like, oh, okay, everybody was drinking their drink and stuff like that, and it's not like she said anything wrong. She was just like, oh babe, let's wrap up so that the girl can close. But some men, they don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to correct them. They don't want you even to I don't know what it is. So maybe that can be the example that I can give. But yeah.
Wow. First, honey babe, welcome. I see you, honey babe. Thank you.
Hey, honey babe.
See you. Thank you, guys. Cece, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm short of words right now because that's absolutely no as far as I'm concerned. But
So what would you do, Ben, in that situation as a friend that's seeing that happen? What would you do though? Would you say something to your friend, or you would just mind your business?
this is what I would do. I will correct my friend, but not right there at that. What I'm gonna do is I'll try to figure out something to quickly cover up that embarrassment so that the lady, we know that we really don't condone what he did. But the moment we are out of that space, I'm gonna call him up straight up. That's just me. I'm just gonna, hey dude, that is so wrong. You have to apologize to your lady. You don't talk to a lady like that, not in public, not in private. She didn't say anything wrong. The bar is closing. You got to leave. And I'm not gonna part of that. Hell no way. Never. Hey, honey, how you doing? You know what we're talking about, my sister?
I just literally just saw your live. I'm even cooking jollof rice, but yeah, I thought I'd quickly say hi.
Hey, let me come and get jollof.
What's
I
up,
just made
Cece?
stew. I just made stew.
Really?
Let me come and bring my stew for your jollof.
Come. So sorry, if you can just summarize, because I've missed a lot of stuff. Because I just came on to say hi, just to support you. I really have nothing to say, to be honest.
Basically, what we're talking about on this show
Sure.
today is understanding African men, and it is
Yeah.
Brotherhood 101. So I got a video of women who are saying stuff about what other women should understand or know about African men. First video I played was from a sister who was coming from the point of view that, hey, if you date African men, they will spoil you, they will pamper you, they will take care of you. You can buy it and live the kind of life you wish, but however, African men will embarrass you. So you're gonna have options. Would you rather enjoy the soft girls style they can provide and overlook the embarrassment? So, and I just asked in the chat, okay, when women said African men will embarrass you, what exactly constitute embarrassment? So let's make it clear. And then my sister Cece, she made us understand that, for instance, cheating, number one, when you are cheating and it becomes public knowledge, and of course women are always in competition, that is embarrassing to women. And then Cece told us the story of this bad situation whereby the bartender say it's time to leave, and then the woman say, hey babe, let's do, and then he said, when men are talking, you don't talk. And I said no. So that's
totally.
It all. So if you can tell me right now, honey babe, to you, what do you think constitutes embarrassment from African men to ladies?
I think it's very much what Cece said. I mean, I've been lucky. I've never been embarrassed in that situation. And to be honest, I can be a bit candid. And maybe, like I said, this is just me. I've had a situation many times where I've probably said things I probably shouldn't have. But I've been lucky that the partner that I have wouldn't say anything and say, babe, at home, you shouldn't have said that. So I'm very lucky. So I'm just twisting it. So I've been very lucky in that respect. But in terms of embarrassment, I'm going to be kind of like devil's advocate. I know obviously the show is understanding African men, but men will embarrass you no matter whether they're Caucasian, whether they're Asian. Men are men. They're a different breed. I think we just have to understand that no one is perfect and there's good and bad. So I'm not really the type of person to say that African men can be embarrassing. I think we should just do it on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
That's got to be stirring up the
another angle.
Go, Cece.
Cece, we're listening.
No, I thought you were going to say something.
No. I said that's another angle that you just
brought. Yeah. I mean, you know, obviously we had that show with Auntie B, and I was quite upset in terms of everyone was like literally slagging off Nigerian men. And so I'm of the opinion that every guy is an individual. So I think it's a case by case basis. But I know that Nigerian men, they're very patriarchal because of the culture, because of society. So I think you just have to take the good and the bad. And for me, I'm all about what's my deal breaker. You understand? So if,
Yeah.
like CT's example, I'm gone. I'll even leave him from the club. I'm gone. Bye bye. Uber straight home. I wouldn't
I've
even
actually thought of another way
finish,
African men
babe. Give
can
me another
embarrass
one. You know what I
women.
mean? Give another example. But for me personally, I just think that we need to take the good and the bad, and you need to know your deal breaker. If you know that you don't want disrespect, then you know what to do. I really don't think we should really focus on Nigerian men. They're this, they're that. I think men are men, whether they're Nigerian or any other nationality. Go on, Cesar, let you learn.
Let me play
Go
this
Ben.
video. This is a short video, and I'm
Sure.
going to ask you, sisters, if you agree with him or not. So we are still
Okay.
talking about understanding African men.
Yeah.
What you do if you want to keep your African king, because we African brothers, we don't back down, okay?
Hey. So true.
So this brother here gives some candid advice to women. Let's take a listen.
Excited to come your way today. I'll be sharing a few things you need to know before dating an African guy. Yeah, a few things you need to know before dating an African guy. Now, African men basically they basically have the same kind of attributes. Yeah, so there are basically four things I want to talk about that you need to know before dating an African guy. One, you should consider the cultural differences. Yeah, the cultural differences will always be present. So you must find a way to adapt to, their own kind of culture, be it a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Cameroonian, a South African, someone from Botswana, Zimbabwe, or from Namibia. There will always be that cultural difference. So you must be able to adapt. You've got to be able to adapt. The second thing you need to be prepared for is the fact that you must be ready to meet a lot of his family members.
Yep.
Yeah, you must be, because it could be a very large family. So he may basically have cousins scattered around everywhere. So you've got to just be willing to meet them and be nice to every one of them, because they will see you as their wife and all that. So you've got to be willing to to meet all of them and be nice to them. 3, get your cooking skills ready.
Yep.
Get your cooking skills ready, because a real African man doesn't joke with food. Yeah, it's an African thing. Yeah, a real African man doesn't joke with food. In Nigeria, you talk about amala, wedu, and egusi soup and all that. In Ghana, you talk about banku and things like that. So you must be willing to get your cooking skills ready. I think in Cameroon, there's something they call, kiki. I can't remember the name of that meal as well. So you must be willing to get your cooking skills ready. And another thing you need to consider may also be the language barrier, because we have some French-speaking African nations like the likes of Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, and the rest. They speak French. So let's say you're an American and then you fall in love with a guy who's from Mali, for instance. So there could just be that little language barrier that could just be like a problem. But so you've got to prepare for some of these things the moment you're willing to actually date an African man. Yeah, I trust you ponder on this, and it will help you. Do well to be a part of my TikTok live on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
All right. I believe we heard that, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that actually.
Okay, so let's take it one at a time.
Mhm.
He mentioned 3 things: culture. He mentioned family members and cooking. Of all these 3, do you agree that he's right when he says women should know that about African men?
Everything he said is spot on. I totally agree. Every single point he made I totally agree, because the fact of the matter is, even me that is of Nigerian heritage, I struggled with my ex-husband because he was brought up in Nigeria. I was brought up in the UK. So culture clash you need to understand the culture, definitely. And in terms of the other three stuff, I totally agree with every single one. I don't know what you want me to kind of summarize, but
Okay.
I think it was spot on.
Okay. How about the cooking skills? Basically, every Nigerian man you come across, I'm not talking about the westernized Nigerian men, those who are born in London, US, Canada, who are used to eating fast food. But when you brother who was groomed, raised in Nigeria or any part of Africa, and he was imported. And word, that cooking is number one. As a woman, if you can't cook, please don't even bother to date a Nigerian. Okay, you can date him.
But can I say something? Because I'm the exception. Because to be honest, I believe that my partner cooks better than me. I do cook. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, it went off. Sorry, but sorry. Yes, I believe you should cook, but I believe you should cook. If you're marrying someone from a different culture. Now, for instance, I'm not even going to talk about Nigerian. If you marry a Chinese person, I would expect you to if you want to marry into that culture, why wouldn't you learn how to cook Chinese food? Well, it's not even about, you understand? It's just common sense. Because it makes sense, because you're now assimilating two cultures. So in terms of, we're talking about Nigerian men, it's very, very important to cook. But I have my partner who was brought up in Nigeria. He's 40 something and he came 15 years ago. He cooks. When I was pregnant, the smell of blending stew, he was cooking. It was cooking nonstop. It was even to a stage I stopped cooking. But I'm lucky. I'm being honest. I'm lucky. If there's a day that I say, babe, I'm not feeling well, he can cook.
Okay.
And
now
I've been licking my lips, licking my fingers, because the food is that he cooks very, very well. So I know it's an exception in my case, but I still feel that if you want to marry or date a Nigerian man, you have to make the effort with the food. It's just common sense.
Okay, Sissy, what do you take of the three things the brother spoke about?
I agree with Honey Babe. I think the guy was spot on with his with the points that he made. Yeah, definitely. Culture differences is a big one. Family is important. And what was the last one?
And the last one is cooking.
Cooking. Yeah, those are the three main ones for African men. I think for men in general, across the board, to be fair.
That's true.
Spot on.
But this is where I have problem with some of our sisters, though. Let me take from Sister Marriott real quick. Marriott said, my friend who was raised in Nigeria does the cooking in his home here in Canada. But he is the exception. Get your cooking up. Absolutely.
Exactly, Marriott. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, spot on.
Now, the angle I want to come in from is this. The latest argument now by modern women. Very, very modern.
Go on.
Argument is, why can't you cook?
Yeah, my daughter, and Gen Z. My daughter is a Gen Z, and she's on this table. I wish she was here. She's on this table. She's like, I'm not cooking for any man. In fact, I don't even want to live with. If I get married, we want to have separate house. I don't think I can live with my man. I'm just like, what are you talking about? But cooking, she's like, no. Why can't he cook? I don't see myself coming home and cooking. Even though me, as her mother, I love cooking. Like cooking is my love language. Okay, if there was a love language, that's cooking. I love to cook. And the funny thing is, obviously, I date. Would I say it's not interculturally? I think that's the correct term, right? So I'm Ugandan, but a lot of my exes. I mean, my son's dad is Ghanaian. My current partner is Nigerian. Like, so I tend to date guys that are not Ugandan. Okay. So there's always going to be a cultural difference with East and West. And then also our foods as well. And I have to learn how to adapt. But because I like cooking, and I take that on, that's never been an issue for me. So I've always, been adaptable in that way. I can cook. I learned the food. I actually enjoy learning to cook the food. I like to surprise them with the food, their cultural food. My ex, that was Ghanaian, banku and okra was his favorite food, and funnily enough, okra is my worst food on this planet. But because okra is my worst food,
no way.
Nah, Even
don't
to
like
look at
okra, to be
okra, it
honest.
just makes me want to vomit.
It's slimy,
Right,
innit?
but because
Yeah.
of him, because of the love, right, I learned how to cook. His favorite dish was okra soup and banku. That's like a
Wow.
big Nigerian Ghanaian dish. So I
Yeah.
made that for him, and he appreciates it. He loved it.
Yeah.
It's not every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
every now and again I would make that. I would make banku and fish, grow the fish. There's certain type of stew. What's the other one? The red beans and the kenke and all these kind of things, so that he can feel like, okay, I'm making an effort, right?
Yeah.
And then my Nigerian ex, there's amala. Amala is not a food I will eat, to be honest, and beggary and all these things, but I can cook it because I just like to cater for my man. And if that's his cultural food that he wants to eat and we're gonna be together, I'm happy to do that so that the kids at least can have a blend of the both cultures,
But here
It's
is a
not a
problem
problem.
now. Marriott just dropped another one, and I think this is the source of bass boost when we are on this conversation. Marriott said, my man does 90% of our cooking. Sorry, not sorry. Cooking is a chore.
It's
Now,
a chore. It's a chore,
for the
definitely.
most for the most part of Mario's comment, which says my man does 90% of our cooking, I absolutely got no problem with that. Because some men are actually good cook, some are really, really fantastic cook, and it's nothing to them. It's just, I've seen both men and women who actually see cooking as a hobby. Like some of them literally just cook for fun at times, so there's no problem with that. But when Mario said cooking is a chore, that one I disagree. I'm gonna be honest, right?
Can I
It's a chore. It's a chore, Ben. Nowadays, it's a chore for women because me and you were doing the same thing. You're working, I'm working. You're looking after the kids, I'm looking after the kids. At least before, women, all they had to do was maybe look after the kids and stay home and cook. You had the whole day to make a meal. Nowadays, if you're going to work, if I'm working just as hard as you're working, we're doing childcare, and then I'm coming home to cook those traditional African meal. Of course, it's a chore. Come on now, it's a chore.
All right.
I agree with her as well, because the thing is like you said, there was a time I've only just started cooking again because I work from home much more than I did. When I was going into London 5 days a week, I'm going to be honest, I was not cooking. By the time I get home, I'm knackered. So it's not easy in this time and place where both the men and the women are working for you to now, when you get home, you still have to cook. So it's very difficult. It's not like back in the day, like Cece said, where the woman is a housewife. She can spend all day cooking. It's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. Even me, I'm tired. I still have to make the effort to now cook this jollof rice, which I've done. It's not easy.
And there's some wizards, some African wizards, your brotherhood, that will say, I can only eat fresh food every day, different soup.
Dear.
God forbid. You eat what you eat. Whatever is quick, whatever is easy, and on the weekend you can eat something else. There's some wizards like that. They'll say, I want to have amala every day. Really? The woman will come home from work 7 o'clock. You're expected to make amala from fresh. Come on now. You're just being a devil.
All right, Sissy.
Sissy, that's hard though.
Right now.
Or pounding yam in the kitchen at 9 p.m. Come on now.
Wow. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Okay, Sissy, let's just get a couple of things straight here first. While I agree with you that a man demanding fresh cooked meal every day is reasonable, I agree with that. But basically, there are some of us who really like varieties. And for me, as an example, I can't, if I eat one soup 3 times in a week, the third time I'm eating that soup, I'm really trying not to start trouble. That's why
okay, Cece, I leave that one to you. You answer that one.
No, I agree. Honestly, I agree, because I'm like that as well in my house, but I think it's the East African thing. We don't really cook like how I see West Africans cook. Like, you guys can bulk cook, and then you might eat that stew for like 1 week straight, and God forbid, nah. I can eat stew maybe 2 days, and then we have to change the food.
Okay.
So I agree with that. Eating the same food would be a chore, definitely.
Thank you. Now, look at, I see my sister Mayor Egbe, and also Fabs Tally? I see you guys there. Thank you. Now let's quickly look at the comment real quick before I move to the last video. Mayor said, can I say okay? Cooking is a life skill. If you were single, would you make food for yourself? Now,
exactly.
you start from the brotherhood point. Yes, as a single man, we're gonna cook for ourselves. We take care of ourselves. But the moment we said, "Baby, will you marry me?" and you said yes, that yes means that we have transferred that cooking responsibility to you the way God designed it to be.
Can I interject?
I agree.
Wouldn't you have that conversation? And this is why we talk about having conversations, because there should be a situation where the man is a better cook. Mariette just obviously mentioned her own individual case. So wouldn't you have that conversation? Because you may now decide that, you know what, my husband is a better cook, and you would have a conversation that, babe, you would do most of the cooking. I would do other stuff, whether it's laundry, cleaning the house. Wouldn't you have that conversation? For you to assume that when a man asks you to marry, he's got telepathy to now tell me, honey, babe, I'm doing 100% of the cooking. You have to have that dialogue and have that conversation of your expectations of marriage. Am I too, being too deep in what I'm saying? But that's what I would think. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Brother Ben.
I got you, honey babe. Now let me just step in and explain something real quick from African men perspective. You see, the way we were raised as African men, we were raised to provide. Basically, we were raised to make sure everything needed in the house are provided for. Now, once we are married, that role of providing, we see it solely as our responsibility, that it becomes our job to make sure we don't lack in this home. That is where we are coming from. And I believe other Africans who might see this video, we get what I'm saying. So in that same vein, as we are like, okay, now that I'm married, I got to go look for money. I got to make sure there is always provision in this house. We automatically have it at the back of our mind that all the women responsibilities, domestic responsibilities, as we know it, becomes that of the woman. I'm sorry,
it's like a natural transition, right?
I do agree.
Yes.
But you have to have the conversation. You have to sit down and have a conversation of your expectations in the marriage. You have to have that conversation. I totally agree with what you're saying, that it's natural in terms of a woman cooking. But I just believe that you have to have that conversation of what you expect in the marriage in terms of like gender roles in the marriage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now let me also paint another picture of how an African man minds work, the kind of mindset that we have about this. Do you know that if not for this modern day exposure and people who are now educating men, that there are certain conversations that has to be, that has to be on the table before marriage? African men don't even believe that cooking and all those or some of these gender roles are supposed to be element of discussion. It's like we were raised to believe that as a woman, you should know these are your job. These are the tasks.
I totally agree. I do agree with you on that. But what I'm trying to say is that in this Gen Z era, you have to have conversation. That's why marriages are just scattering left, right, and center.
I agree 100%. And that is why it's so difficult for us to marry Gen Z or what other generation did we have again?
No, I don't even know millennials. Some millennials.
Yeah.
Oh, the millennials are the worst, and I suspect.
Really?
No, that's not true. I'm a millennial.
You guys are.
I'm not. I'm a bit older.
I'm a millennial, but I'm still good. Excuse you. Gen Z is your problem, not me.
No, Gen Z. Millennials are not this bad, honestly.
No.
At all. In fact, I'm telling my friends right now, if you are really looking for a committed relationship, go for millennials.
Totally on
No
point.
formulation.
On
Gen
point.
Z are on a different level. In fact,
If you want, I have a Gen Z in my house. The conversations we have sometimes, I'm just like, oh my god,
But
what's
you're
wrong with
scratching your
you?
head. Yeah, you've been scratching your head a lot of the
They
times. The way
they want to
think.
push, back against everything,
Yeah, they
everything.
want to push boundaries. Definitely.
So
I have Gen Z too. My Gen Z texted me yesterday and she goes, Dad, I think you need to change my phone. That's all I got. No other message. Dad, I think you need to change my phone.
yes, but hello, as an African man, your job is to provide. So
Isn't
Beno,
it?
no long
Yeah,
thing, no long
exactly.
thing.
According to what we're saying. Totally.
Because I was like, there is no Dad, can you please? Dad, nothing. It's just Dad, I think you have to change my phone.
There you
And
go.
I'm like,
And end of
I
story.
get the
Case
same thing. My
closed.
son is much younger, but I get the same thing. You're looking at them, are you okay? Do you know how much it costs to get a new phone?
Entitlement. The entitlement.
I know the entitlement is shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Okay, my sister Fat Tolly, Fabs. How do I pronounce? Okay, I'll just call you Tolly.
Fabs Tolly.
I think she should be a Yoruba sister. That should be Tolani or something. Now she said cooking is a life skill, but there is something called girl dinner, which many men won't appreciate. Okay,
which one is girl dinner?
again?
Sorry, I think she needs to kind of explain that. I'm a bit confused by that comment. I don't know for you, CC, or Brother Ben. Do you understand?
Who will kill me?
Which one is girl dinner? Educate us, sis. I've not heard that one before.
Can you please
Please educate us.
Mama Daron, thank God I'm not in this generation. I can never fit into this thing, I swear. I will be the worst man you can date ever because I want grammar, all this classification. It's just out of it for me. I'm sorry. So, Tolly, we're going to be looking out for your explanation of what you mean
Please
by
explain, though.
Does girl dinner mean that maybe the man has to cook for the wife, or they have
or maybe it's like when you just you go into the kitchen, you just see whatever is there, throw it together. It's not really a meal that makes sense, but you can eat it. Maybe that's what she means.
Whatever's left in the fridge, innit? You know,
Maybe
when
that's
you
what she
literally have
means.
an onion and 2 eggs and you like throw it together.
Maybe that's what and you'll be like, dinner, babes, dinner's ready. Exactly. There you go.
I don't know if you saw leftovers.
I think she just explained it now. Let me see
Okay.
She said, girl dinner is leftovers, small bites that satisfy dinner instead of cooking a meal. Wait.
No, that will never work in my house. Even my kids.
Is that small chops? I don't know.
Like a charcuterie board.
I don't know.
I think this is the one we called concussion in Nigerian parlance. We call it concussion. You know, concussion is like when you have a stew at home, you cook a stew, maybe the stew has been going for like a week, and instead of
I get you, and you mix it with rice.
You throw indomie, and then you throw what else? Plantain on the side. Dinner's ready.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Well, I think she has a point here because I've seen a lot of men do this. In fact, initially I used to frown at this and say, what is this? You have to cook. But when you are married to some women who are really stubborn and they are your match.
Really?
So now, when it is concussion mode, I just blend in and I don't argue.
You don't argue.
That is the only time it's going to become a trouble is if you are offering me the same girl's dinner the next day. It won't work. Will it work? So now, based on the last video, this meeting family members, do you know this is actually a big deal? I think I saw one other video.
Yeah.
Where a lady said, it's still on TikTok, and the lady said, look, if you are dating a Nigerian guy or any African man, and he did not introduce you to his family, he didn't introduce you to his friends, girl, that is a red flag. And I think I agree with that because meeting this family is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Here's the problem nowadays. A lot of Gen Z and even some millennial ladies don't want to meet family or friends. They just want to say hi, and that is it. They don't want families to be part of the mix. So how do we manage this now, my sisters?
As critical as I am, when I was obviously engaged and married, you have to meet the family. I don't quite understand. I am very British in some ways, but because of our culture, naturally that it's not a nuclear family. You're going to meet extended family. But I do have the other argument that once you're married, I'm not into the whole extended family in my business. It's me, myself, and my husband and my kids. But I think you have to be aware that the way that families are is very intergenerational. So it's not just a case of just meeting the mother. You have to meet all the family. It's just part of our culture. So the way I say it, if you know you don't want to be in that situation, then marry Oyibo that just do nuclear family. It's that simple.
Even sometimes they don't even do nuclear family. They don't do anybody. They're just together, their partner.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
agree. I've always said if I'm with somebody and there's a problem with their family, that for me is a no-go. It's always
Definitely
a red flag. So
and that's why you need to know the extended family.
I wouldn't even push it. Yeah, I wouldn't even push it further.
Yeah.
All right. So here is our last video, and we will wrap it up here. She's actually she's pointing out the red flags in some relationship when you are dating African men, and it's still part of understanding African men. Let's take a listen.
Flag is nobody knows you are dating him. If you're dating an African man and after 2 months, nobody in his family know that he's dating you, that's a big red flag. African men are really prideful people. They love people to know their woman. They love people to know that, oh my God, this is the woman I love. All this rubbish that they say, oh, I'm a private person, I don't like to post on social media, I like rubbish. If an African man loves you, he don't care if you have side chicks. Even if his side chicks will get upset, he doesn't care. He will still post you because he knows that he's posting his future wife, so he doesn't care if anybody get upset. If nobody knows, only you guys know that you're dating, right? It's been 2-3 months. It's a big red flag. Red flag. Unless you don't look that great. If you're not that pretty, he might be hiding you a little bit. But if you're a baddie, you're a boss, you know who yourself, you know what you bring to the table, and nobody knows that you're dating, that's a big red flag, sis. Run. You're not his woman. He's not going to take you seriously. He's just messing around with you. He's just playing games with you, okay? If nobody knows, leave that relationship ASAP, unless he is giving you money. There's some stipulations to this thing. If he's giving you money, manage, be secret, be doing your hide and seek there, no problem. If he's not giving you money and he's keeping your secrets, that's 2 red flags at the same time. Bang, bang, X him out. It is not worth it.
Oh Lord Jesus.
That was funny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, here is my thing, and this is just what I wanted to point it out from that video. Absolutely, I support her take that if you're dating an African guy and he's not showing you up to family and friends, it's a red flag. But I have problem when she said, if he's not showing you to anybody, but he's spending money on you, you can stay. That's
money thing.
I don't agree.
Yeah, wrong advice in that matter. Yeah, I totally agree, because it's funny that because it's money, it's okay. Come on.
Right?
No. Sisterhood is not proud of that comment.
At all.
No.
What if they are playing games? What if they are playing games? Maybe she probably knew that, okay, I'm not going to marry this guy anyway, but because he's a big spender, let me just hang in there. Because it's common these days. Right here in America, if you go to Houston, you go to Atlanta, you see a lot of African American ladies who, even among Africans, you will see who dating a man they know for sure they're not going to marry, but because of what they are getting from him, they'll just be like, you know what, let me just play along.
I mean, that in that respect, if it's like, you know, and the person, like, you both know what your game is, the end goal is, it's just you're there for a short time, not a long time, then okay, no problem. Collect what you can collect and then move on, right? But if somebody is invested, like the feelings are there, like the lady maybe feels like, oh, I'm really invested in this guy, I feel like he's going to marry me, but then the guy on his own side, there's no understanding that actually this is just a casual thing. The other person's expectation is that they're your girlfriend, they're your number one person, but you're not showing them off, then I feel like it's a little bit more tricky. But if everybody knows that this is just a short-term thing, then yeah, collect what you want to collect and move on. I don't see any problem with that, because nobody's really getting hurt. That's just
Okay.
part of date. That's just part of dating.
Dating,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I'm of the accountability thing that as long as you guys know what millions collect, whatever. But I'm very much agree with what Cece said on the other side, where if there's emotions involved, yeah, and this guy has no intention of marrying you, you're not seeing friends, you're not seeing anybody, then you should see the writing on the wall and just keep moving.
And not just stay because
Yeah, but
money's
I'm
on the
all
table.
about,
Yeah.
I'm all about empowerment in the sense that if you know what's up, do you, but don't start crying like a bitch when you know that at the end of the day, this guy's not going to marry you.
Yeah, but then a lot of guys, there will be. I mean, we see a lot of these things on social media. A lot of men, maybe mainly Yoruba men. That's what I've
Yeah,
seen in the streets out here. I love my Yoruba men, as you know. So I'm not here to put any hate, but a lot of
of
them,
course.
they'll carry you to their friends. They'll be saying, "Our wife, our wife." They've said that to
Mm,
20 girls. So then, really, how do you
yeah,
know when you're
yeah, yeah,
even the mom will be like, "Oh, my daughter, my daughter." She's texting like 5 other women, "My daughter, my daughter."
yeah.
So
Jesus,
sometimes even when a guy shows you to his family,
It's
it's
still,
just
yeah,
God.
yeah,
It's only
yeah.
God that will let you know that this guy's
Because at the end of the day, a guy can show you to everybody, but
and
he
he's
has
still
no intention of marrying
nonsense.
you. Most
Of
guys
course.
just, will just be having fun. They'll be telling them this is our wife. The guys will be winking and not, yeah, whatever. After we saw 4 or 5 different people last week.
Exactly.
So that's why I said it doesn't really matter to me whether they show you or they don't. It's a difficult situation.
wow. All right, all right. Thank you very, very much, Cece and Honey Babe.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, Ben. It was great
Yeah,
Thank you.
chatting.
love you
Yeah.
guys so much because you guys always bring the fire. And I like the
Thank
fact
you.
that you guys always forgive me with my brotherhood mentality.
Cool.
My big sister Yvette Williams is in the house. Thank you, Sister Yvette. Sister Yvette said, same thing if it is a Caribbean man, if he hasn't introduced you to any family member, bye
Yeah.
bye.
Mm,
Auntie
thank
B is
you.
live now, so I'm
Is
expecting
she?
you
Ooh.
Okay.
to
Switching
be
over.
We'll see you over there.
All
yet.
right. See you later. Yeah. See you over
Lots
there.
of love
Take
from
care.
the UK.
You
UK.
You can't Take care. Bye.
Thank you, thank you very much. Today we discuss because you know how I do here on Uncle Beno's channel, and I should inform you guys we now have membership, and thank you all for your support. YouTube approved our membership yesterday. Also, YouTube approved our super chat. So if you want to encourage what we're doing with super chat, and if you want to be part of our membership program, you can be there. Let me quickly tell you guys what the membership is all about. As for me, I believe in values. I don't do much of relationship stuff. I like money. Let me just be honest. I like money. I like to discuss things that fetch money, that give people that extra passive income. So if you are part of my membership program, I'm going to be publishing a lot of content about how you can make extra income, even when you have your 9 to 5 job and you want to have something on the side. I'll be sharing some of those techniques and some of those strategy in our membership packages. Basically, just simple thing. I'm from the street. I say that all the time. I like hustling. I like making money. And a lot of time, people really don't know how to start. I've met a lot of accomplished brothers and sisters here. Professionally, they are doing great, but some of them are afraid that they can't even retire because of the fact that they don't have a side hustle. So as part of the membership, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the things you can do to make money on the sides. And by my own policy, I advise people to do something that I have tried and get to understand that it works. For instance, thank God we're out here when we started this YouTube thing, when I moved down here from my former channel. And within 2 months now, I got this channel monetized thanks to my sisters and brothers from Obodoyinbo TV and Prestige Farm. Thanks to Auntie B. Thanks to Man of Prestige. Thanks to all my sisters who call in, and they are always here. And thanks to my fabulous team back in Nigeria, the social media freelancers. So as part of our membership, for instance, I can give you a full download on how you can start your YouTube channel and get it monetized in 3 months. without wasting money hiring people from Fiverr and all that. So in the membership arrangement, there are going to be a lot of content there. For instance, if you are in abroad, you want to learn how to start your own nursing home, or maybe you want to start your group home, or maybe you want to do some other business whereby you don't even want to be active, you just want to invest your money and you want the money to give you something back at the end of the month. We're going to be discussing that, but that is not going to be on the public space. All right, having said that, and thanks everybody, since we are now getting to the monetized space proper, we still need one more to go, and that is the YouTube ads and YouTube ads revenue. We're going to get there shortly. I think by the end of next week we should be there. We need 4,000 view hours for that, and as at the last time I checked, we already have 3,300 view hours. We have 700 to go, and I have like 3 videos on this channel already that are really doing great. Those videos already have over 600 view hours. One have like 700 view hours, and I think the other one have like 350 view hours. So YouTube take like 5 days before they add the view hours to your hours. So if you check your analytics and you realize that I have a lot of view on this content now, why is it not showing? That is YouTube waiting for 5 days to verify that those views are actually authentic and original views, and then they will add it. So I know we are already within that space. By the end of next week, we should have YouTube ads revenue playing on this channel. So on this series, Understanding African Men, this is the part 1. And today, let me just recap what we did so far. Today, I played 3 videos, and in each of the videos, the first one cover embarrassment, where the lady says that, hey, look, if you are dating African men abroad, they will take care of you. African men can spend, and that is true. We are big spenders. That's why they call us Agbabola. When we date you, we take care of you. We handle your problem, we handle everything. You don't have to worry about money. No. You don't have to worry about money. When you date an African guy, a big baller, forget, you are covered. You can have your Chanel bag. What are those other things women spend money on? Those nonsensical things, all those expensive things that we don't even know. You want to do your hair, you want the hair to long from your head to your bum bum. We got you. We spend money. We are big spenders. Okay. So the first video talks about dating African men, and African men, we handle you, we will take care of you. But there is a problem. There is a caveat to that. African men, we stay in your white. African men, we embarrass you. Wow, what am I seeing right now? Ladies and gentlemen, give round of applause to my sister Yvette. Sister Yvette is our first super chat giver. Woo! Yay! Almost bang, bang, bang. Thank you, Sister Yvette. God bless you. God bless you mightily. And there is something I didn't tell you guys, and I was still going to tell you guys later on. I like to help people back in Africa, especially people who are hungry. So most time when I get money from YouTube, from my other channel, anytime YouTube pay me, sometimes I get like $400, sometimes I get like 500, sometimes 250. What I do is I use the money and just look for people who are in need in Africa, and I would just say, okay, I'll call my PA, give this person 10K, this one 5K, and all that. Sister Yvette, God bless you. This super chat you donated today, by the time we claim it from YouTube, I'm going to give it to somebody who needs to eat. It can be a single mom, it can be a young brother or sister. I will give it to them, and I will have them verify that they actually got it. God bless you so much, my sister. And God bless you for the support. CC, everybody, all my sisters and brothers, thank you for the support. We are getting there. We're getting there. So there's going to be a part 2 of this series. It can be up to part 3. So I'm just rounding up. The first part that I said here is that I play a first video, and the lady say, if you date African men, they will take care of you, but they will embarrass you. So if you are in the Western world and you really want to kick it with the African men, know at the back of your mind that we can really, really be disgusting at times. I'm sorry, but we can change. We are even trying now. That is why we have channel like Uncle Man of Prestige, and we have Auntie B, where we are actually learning to do better as African men. Okay, so please take note of that. And then in the second video, I actually played that from a man who he pointed out 3 things you should know if you are dating African men. That you should understand that there's going to be cultural differences. You have to appreciate the fact that this man is from another culture, so embrace the culture. But one question, we couldn't get to that yet, maybe we'll get to that in the next show. One question people asked on that video was, if women have to embrace African culture because they want to date or marry African men, what should African men also adapt to as far as the woman is concerned? And I see that one as a very valid question. Especially, this is the reason why some of our African brothers have issue when they marry people from other culture in abroad. If you marry, let's say, a Black American lady from Alabama, for instance, though you expect her to understand that as an African guy, you value family, you're always going to talk to your family at home, and you like to work hard, you like to take care of things. Also, you should understand that this Black beautiful sister from Alabama has some history too, and she also has her own culture. You should also understand that African American ladies are not like African women who, if you are talking and you are talking nonsense, sometimes African women will just give you the grace and say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I'll probably have my point later. African American lady will not keep quiet too. And right now, it's not just African American lady, even African ladies that are raised in abroad, even African ladies that came all over to Western world and they blend into the system. If you are talking as a man, you should expect that if you say things they don't agree with, they are going to push back. They are going to express themselves. So I get that comment from that video, and I think that is something very, very valuable that we need to discuss too. So in the second episode, we will talk about that. And also we talk about family members, and my sister Cece and Honey Babe, they already helped me break that down. Marriott, as well as other sisters in the chat, they break it down that understanding family member is key. And according to the video I played, if you are dating an African guy and this guy is not introducing you to his families and friends, that is a red flag. Auntie, run, oh, run, oh. That bro wants scam you, oh. So if he's not introducing you to his siblings, his mom, his parent, he's hiding something. So we discuss that, and then we talk about cooking, and the cooking aspect, which my sisters also help us break down, is that African men expect you to know how to cook, but then there are exceptions. There are some ladies who cooking is not really their thing, and if you as a man, if you as an African man, you're actually good at cooking, don't see it as a big deal, because these are so many things we have to talk about. Personally, for me, for instance, I know how to cook, but not all food, but I know how to cook some foods. And the moment issue of food comes up, I just presume that women know how to cook better, and I expect the women to cook. But then things changes, and now I still cook. So the point I'm trying to make here, brother, is that, listen, cooking is not supposed to be a big deal anymore. The world have changed. If you live in Western world, you're gonna be working, your wife will be working, and sometimes it can be overwhelming for a woman to go to work 12 hours, almost every day, and then she still come back, you have kids and everything, and you expect her to cook. It may not work like that, okay? So you just have to understand. But for the purpose of this video, understanding African men, please, sisters, understand that African men like food, and we don't joke. We know they play when it comes to food. If you know how to cook, most times you can get everything you want from us easily. And just to add this, for the sisters out there, you should also understand this about African men. A lot of well-raised African men don't like to eat out. We are not a fan of restaurant food. I do get it that sometimes, some ladies nowadays just look at it like, what is there? We can just order egusi and fufu from African store now. African restaurant, we can order vegetable soup and all that. Babe, why do you want me to cook? Please. You see, the fact that we see you in the kitchen as an African man, we actually see you in the kitchen, you are cooking. We see that as a sign of respect. We maybe in the next episode we'll talk about respect, but today I just wanted to iron that out. Seeing you in the kitchen, cooking, turning the gari, mixing all these things together, it makes us feel like, yes, we are in charge. And to be honest with you, I know there's been a lot of conversation about African men like to be controlling. They are this, they are that. It's part of our ego. I'm sorry, but I just have to admit it. It's part of us. So when we see you in the cooking, you are in the kitchen, you are cooking, doing everything, mixing it, it makes us feel that we are the boss. Yes, our wife is a humble wife. She's taking care of us. But if you are team, let us order out. Today you call, hey, DoorDash, hey, Uber Eat, can you go to African store? Tell them I need 2 plates of egusi, I need 2 plates of vegetable. Tell them the gari, I want it so. Even if we pretend that, okay, no problem. You can only order that maybe once or twice. Once it becomes your regular routine, we're going to have a problem. So please take note of that cooking stuff. And my sisters in the panel, Cece and Honey Babe, actually help us break this down further and make it something we should know. That sometimes cooking is a skill, and this goes for we boys. We need to understand that cooking is a skill. And although in the chat, my sister Tolly, Fabs Tolly, as well as Egbe, they point out that it's a chore, that cooking is a home chore. You are supposed to do some of these chores as a man and all that. And I push back like, as an African man, we don't consider cooking as house chores. I beg, may we not go that side. So finally, we talk about money for dating. That's where we end today. And the last video I played spoke about money for dating, that you can date an African man if he's spending on you, and you already see the red flag that this guy is not going to marry you. So you can just date him for the benefit. And my sisters also point out, Cici and Honey Babe, as well as Marriott and every other person in the comment, pointed out that that is not the right direction. Don't do that. Though it sounds like, okay, if you want to live your soft girl life, you can go buy it for a minute, but it is not sustainable. So marrying for money for dating, even though that is what people do these days, but if you are really looking for a committed relationship with an African guy, I don't think that will serve you. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. I see so many comments here. Let me quickly read this as I round up. Mario said, Nigerian men who marry others reduce their volume because they know their wives won't take no nonsense. They only raise shoulders for Nigerian women from home. Marriott, they open our iron show. No, they do this one to my sister. But Marriott is right anyway. In most cases, when Nigerian men marry to other races outside of African settings, they tend to behave. But when it comes to African women, they act certain way. And the reason they act like that, if I can just chip this in, Marriott, is because when we marry African women, we expect them to understand that we have similar culture and tradition that has to be respected. Yes, you have to respect it, and you know it. But when we are married to women from other races, we really can't expect them to know this culture, and that is why we have to tone it down. We have to tone it down somehow. So thank you for that. Sisi and Luke, they are going back and forth in the chat again. Sister Yvette said, Sisi OJ, yes, you have said it. They accept everything and carry the handbag. I've seen it. Okay, I guess that was on another conversation right there. Finally, Sister Yvette said, as Sisi, we see it in the stores and malls. I've seen it all. Okay, I've seen it all the time for many years. It's been discussed at dinners, parties. I have 4 Nigerian in-laws in the family over 20 years. Oh, wow. Sister Yvette, you are already a Nigerian. Eh? Sister Yvette, you are a Nigerian already, please. We adopt you. We will give you citizenship. Sister Mario said, they just need to reduce the expectations so everyone can be happy. Absolutely. I think I'm going to round up on this one. Sister Marriott actually closed this one for me very, very well. The truth of the matter is this, brothers, if you get to see this, you have to reduce your expectations from women nowadays. Time have changed, things have changed, and women are very educated now. They are smarter, and they can actually own their own. We don't live in that era anymore where as a man you feel like I'm in charge, I'm in control, nothing she has to say. Nowadays, if you really want to be successful, you better work with your woman. No, I will tell you this for free as an uncle. If you want your life to be smooth and you want to get to your goal real quick, you want to be successful, lower your expectations, work with your woman. And just like Man of Prestige, I've said so many times, communication, bro. Sometimes what you want is not what your woman wants. And if you are flexing muscles that she has to, you got to do this, go walk. I feel they follow Man of Prestige that from now to tomorrow, but the truth of the matter is Man of Prestige is right. Make I tell you now. Go work. So just like Marriott said, chill. You hear? In fact, nowadays, if you follow woman, once you see that she's educated, she got great job, she make good income, she's decent, bro, just calm down. Okay, calm down. In fact, as I am right now, I'm even willing. I wish I can become full-time husband now. Make I not do shit. Make I just sit down for house. So, joking apart, though, joke apart, okay? If you calm down, you lower some of your expectations as far as this our Nigerian brotherhood mentality is concerned. If you can just understand that, okay, time have changed. Definitely, my woman wants some things from me, and I have to do it. Definitely, I also expect some things from her. Okay, let me change my approach. Bro, you're gonna win. It will work. So thank you, Sister Marriott, for at least helping me wrap this up. Thank you, everybody. Sister Yvette, God bless you for that super chat. You are actually the first person that gave us super chat. I think I will screenshot that super chat and frame it. I will frame it and say, super chat. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. I really appreciate you. And to my Nigerian teams, my social media freelancer team, I want you guys to know that whatever you conceived and you believe you can achieve, any goal you want to go after, it is achievable. When we started this channel, if you guys remember when I created the channel, I think towards December 2023, I told you guys that this channel is for you and that we're going to monetize the channel, and whatever comes from this channel, we're going to use it to do great things. And with the help of my beloved sister Auntie B, Man of Prestige, and of course all my sisters and brothers from America, Canada, and UK, we are monetized today. I just want you guys to learn that as a young man, if you set up to achieve a goal, so far you don't lose hope. So far you don't look at other people and say, this is not really working as I want. You can make it. It will happen. And I know right now in Nigeria, Facebook have introduced a lot of monetization opportunity. I will commit my time to teach you guys some of the things you can do in order to benefit from that. It's not going to be easy. Content creation is not easy. Running YouTube channel is not easy. You got to work. You got to do the work. People have to see that you are committed, and that's what will bring them back to your channel. However, before you get to that point where you get monetized, there are certain things you need to know. I will teach you guys how you can get subscribers easily. As you can see, we easily grow to 1,000. I think we are at 1,560 subscribers now, and majority of those subscribers actually came in through shorts, but the majority of the engagement comes in from my sisters and brothers who usually call in and those who watch the show. So I will teach you guys some of these techniques and how you can accomplish it. And overall, I really appreciate everybody for being here. This is Uncle Ben's channel, and what we do here is to extract lessons that can help the upcoming ones to make better decisions. And I've told you guys on multiple occasions, when you have people in the panel talking, just extract the lessons. There are so much lesson to learn. The Davido, Sophia, Shanoja, and all other shows that I've done here, they are done for one purpose and one purpose only: for people to learn, because you can find yourself in those situations at any time. All right, this is where I'll draw the curtain because I have to go and listen to my lovely sister Auntie B, and I'll see you guys in the next show. I have another show coming up. If Man of Prestige is not going live today, I will have another show around 6 p.m. Texas time, that is Austin time, around 6 p.m. And then we can look at the issue of negligence from Davido son incident and how Sophia using that neglect as part of her counter prayer. We can look at how that plays out. All right, I'm gonna stop here. Thank you and God bless you all. My name is Ben O'Reilly, and I'm known as Uncle Ben, your one and only coconut head brother. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.